All right, so this has been quite the week on the show. A lot of strolls down memory lane. This time, we're going to take a trip back to May of 2017. I get a random email out of the blue from somebody asking me if I wanted to interview a fighter named Alexander Volkanovski. He was 1-0 in the UFC. He had won 12 in a row. He was fighting on the Auckland, New Zealand card. Of course, I said yes, and it was an absolutely delightful conversation with the man who told me that I'm going to be a UFC world champion, and I'm going to do it as the nice guy. Sure enough, he did exactly that. I'm sorry for the long introduction, but this is our first chat since that day, and I'm happy to welcome the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski, to the program. How are you, man?
I'm very good. I'm very good. What an intro. How's that? How's that?
Yes.
So, yeah, man, I did say that. I wanted to be me throughout the whole process. You know what I mean? So I tried my best. I hope I was true to them words.
Yes, I'm very nostalgic today. So it was perfect timing that you came on the show because, I mean, what a road it has been for you, Alex, right? Like from the prelims to a world title, from being constantly asked about being a 240-pound rugby player turned featherweight fighter to getting constantly asked when you're moving up to 155 pounds. Like, how often do you look back at those early days in your UFC career, making your way up the ladder, introducing yourself to more and more people along the way? How often do you reminisce about the start and this vision you had to be a world champion?
Man, look, it just adds to, again, there's a whole process, man. And not only, the family the wife putting so much on hold, golf shooting through them ranks, like you said, even just trying to get into the UFC. You know what I mean? The whole process, you know what I mean? And as you said, when I talked to you, I'm going to shoot for these ranks. I'm going to do this, you know what I mean? This was the dream the whole way through, you know what I mean? I still look back at that and be like, man, it's crazy how far I've come. But I mean, I've always, that's what I've always visioned that. I wasn't the type to be like, oh, I'm going to be the best ever. I'm not the one to run my mouth like that. But I knew I would shoot through them ranks and I'll be a top contender champion. And you know what I mean? Like within a couple of years. So I was saying that it's good to look back and hear you even talk about that because, it does sort of feel like yesterday, but at the same time, it feels like a while ago as well, but it's good. It is good to look back. It really is good to look back and just remember those days and be like, hey, I told him from day one. I told him from back in them prelim days that I'll be the champ.
And now these Johnny-come-latelys, they all want to talk to you, Alex. They all want a chance to talk with the champion now. So. You're coming off your first title defense against the guy you won the belt from in December, Max Holloway. You did it on Fight Island. Great competitive matchup. The adjustments you made in the fight were just incredible to watch. It's one that I highly suggest people go back and watch again if you've only seen it once to really appreciate it. But there's this cliche in this sport about winning the belt and how it's great to capture the belt, but defending the belt, that's when it's real. That's when you feel like you're a champion. Is that how it is for you? Does it feel more real now that you got that first defense out of the way?
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, I don't really believe that. Once you beat the champ, you're the champ. That's why you got the belt. So, but at the same time, defending it really is saying something. So, it was huge. You know what I mean? It was huge, and then to do it against, arguably the GOAT of the division, back to back, it's pretty incredible. But it's just it does feel different. Not only defending the belt, but the fact that it was on such a big card. You know what I mean? And it was huge. That was Fight Island. That's gonna hit the history books. You know what I mean? So it was a big opportunity for me. That's why I had to take it on, even though it was short notice. All that type of stuff. But man, I just knew that this was a big fight and this would do so much for me. So I had to take it on.
There's obviously like a lot of buzz around you since that fight, and of course after the fight it was, everyone was saying it was a robbery. Which, by the way, just simply saying that the fight wasn't a robbery on Twitter, I've never received more crap in my entire life, which is just wild. But now at like every Dana White press conference, there's always a question: any plans for Volkanovski? When's he fighting again? So forth and so on. Have you noticed that at all? That people are asking, they want to know what's next for you. Do you pay attention to that stuff?
I probably don't pay a heap of attention to it, maybe in the media and things like that. But I am noticing it, like on, even on the streets. I'll be in I went camping the other time, and I'm in the middle of nowhere in Australia, and I didn't even have a clue, but I'm getting stopped for like photos and things like that. And I just did not expect that. Don't get me wrong. I've always, people would know me on the streets, but to be in random places of Australia, where I didn't think, the UFC, they would have UFC events there or anything like that. So, it obviously shows you that, it was more mainstream, everything hit a little bit more mainstream this time around, which was good. This is what we wanted. But I am noticing it a little bit, but it is good. It's about time as well. You know what I mean? I believe it's about time.
That Fight Island trip was important for a number of reasons, because you defend your title, and then we had another featherweight fight headline a card a few days later. Calvin Kattar defeated Dan Ige, and that's been the biggest featherweight fight that's happened since you defended your title. How interesting is this time for you? Because you're sitting there with the belt, but you got nobody to fight as of right now. It's a big wait and see game for another few weeks at least.
Yeah, well, that's what, I was pretty vocal about that. I was like, what are these contenders doing? Again, I'm not the type to run my mouth, but I just had to put my division on, I had to let them know. I was like, what are you guys doing? You want this shot or not? It's easy. Get that number one contender spot and you're in. That's all it is. That's all you need to do. I want to fight the best guy that's next in line. I don't care who it is. I'm not scared of anyone that is. I believe I'm a bad matchup for any of the guys in my division. So I ain't scared of anyone. I just want you to be the number one contender. I just want you to be that guy. I want you to be the one that earns that shot and the one that everyone's talking about. Yeah, this has got to do it. Luckily, we finally got a fight that it will probably be a number one contender fight in Ortega and Zombie. But I'm hearing you, the only one that was doing anything in the last 6-7 months was Kattar. So I have a lot of respect for him, and obviously I had my eye on him as well, and I do believe that he'll be there soon. But again, I just don't think he was at that number one contender spot yet. And I want a big fight, you know what I mean? I want the guy. I want the guy that everyone's screaming their name, you know what I mean? And I think Ortega or Zombie, whoever wins that fight, especially if they win it in wild fashion, everyone's going to be screaming their name. Everyone's going to be screaming their name. Even if Zabit, I heard Zabit was going to fight. Yeah, I don't know if that's happening, but I wanted one of these guys to go out there and dominate their opponent, and then everyone scream their name, and then I get to fight them later this year, early next year. That's what I want. I want whoever it is, whoever people think is my hardest fight, bring them on. But it was stale for a little bit. That's why not only. People ask me, why did you give Max the rematch after the first fight, even though, we believe it was still, 5 rounds to nil and whatnot. Whether people, agree with that, but that's how we looked at it. And, you know what I mean? So, but, there was no one else really. And he was a great champion. I thought he did definitely deserve that rematch. And people talking about Cejudo and all that. Obviously, his name gets brought up a lot, and I like to have fun with that as well. If there ever was a time for that, that was a few months ago. But now we've finally got stuff happening, and that's all I wanted this whole time. That's all I wanted. I just wanted these guys to, just sit there and be like, yeah, I'm taking that number one spot. I don't care. That's exactly what I did, man. I could talk about it forever. I feel like a broken record. This is what I've been saying for the last bloody 6 months. But it's finally happening, and I've got my eyes on them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the two most interesting callouts that got the most attention were obviously the Cejudo one, and then Patricio Pitbull wanted to make $1 million bet with Dana White that he could beat you and Habib. You have one guy who's retired, another in a different promotion. This is no other champion is getting callouts like this, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, man, it's mate, $1 million as well. Yeah, calling out the $1 million. He ain't going to bet that, I guarantee you. And that's as I said, I played again. I'm just having a bit of fun with it. Whether I think it's realistically ever going to happen, probably not. But as I said to Dana, that's the easiest money you'll ever make, Dana. So if you want to take that on, I'll go out there and sort him out. But look, I've got no disrespect to Pitbull. Yeah, I don't really know the guy too much. I haven't seen too much of him. I'll obviously in highlights here and there, and I know of him. But just a bit of fun. Whether he took offense to what I was saying, I don't know. But Cejudo, again, a bit of fun. He's just going to keep begging for this fight, but I just don't think that's going to happen. You know what I mean? If it was ever going to happen, it was a few months ago. But I've got my eye on Zombie and Ortega at the moment. And if Zabit fights Yair Rodriguez, if that does happen, which I'm not sure about anymore, That's another fight I'll have my eye on.
The other name that gets thrown around is the third fight with Max Holloway. You already beat him twice, but honestly, for just moving the division along, I think the fight to make for Holloway is a fight with Kattar. I think HollowayCate, those are the two other guys that, that aren't attached to anybody else right now. The other four names you mentioned are right there, and you're kind of waiting to see how the pieces fall. What are your thoughts on that? Holloway versus Kattar? I feel like this is the next step for both guys here.
Yeah, man, that'd be a good fight. Kattar's got some good hands, so that'll be a very interesting fight. I'd love to see that. But at the same time, obviously people are throwing the fight Max again. It's just, it's just ridiculous. Again, I've got a lot of respect for Max. That's why I gave him the rematch. But just because it was a close fight, it does not mean I'm going to give him another fight. Not right now. I'm not saying that it would never happen. I believe if Max was to fight Kattar and then, fight someone else and he's right back up there and there's no one else. And like I told you, I want number one contenders. And if he gets himself there and there is no one else, all right, let's do it again. I think it could still be a big fight. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that will just keep, I'm having people try and tell me that he beat me the last two fights. That he beat me the first fight my first fight with Max and the second fight with Max. And it's just crazy. Obviously, he's got loyal fans. I know the last fight was close, but that first fight definitely wasn't. But, again, it's still got a lot of interest. A lot of people still talking about it. So maybe down the track we could eventually make that happen, but just not right now. Let me take out some contenders. And, again, for Max, give him someone new as well. Let him taste some of the flavors out there. You already had this cupcake, as he said. Let's see what other flavors he can go try.
It's a big week for city kickboxing, right? You got Adesanya about to headline Saturday night against Paulo Costa, Kai Kara-France fighting Brandon Royval, Shane Young, Brad Riddell are on the card. As a teammate of these guys, getting ready to watch them compete, what is this week like for you? Like, what goes on in your mind? Is it nerves, excitement? Like, how would you describe it?
Well, excitement, definitely excitement. I can't wait. I sort of wish I was there as well. Obviously I want to, the boys are always, especially in camp, I go there and do a lot of my camp and, they always bust their ass for me, you know what I mean? So I try and always do the same. But again, with these challenging times, I couldn't do it. So, obviously I'm devastated I can't be there with them. I'm devastated I didn't get to do camp with them, but at the same time, I'm excited. I cannot wait. I know the boys are going to turn it on, and I got to at least, luckily for the social media, I could keep an eye on them and, them living in the gym and all that, and have Eugene just on their back 24/7. I know they're going to be in their zone. They're going to be ready. They're all going to put on a show. I guarantee you. It's going to be a big deal. So I can't wait to witness it.
While the division is playing a bit of catch up right now, if you look up and down the top 15 and beyond, I mean, this is a super fun division. Like, it is loaded. And once it catches up, like, you're going to be a very busy man, I'm sure. Like, how excited are you, for the future, considering some of the names that are getting up there, like the Cattars, the Josh Emmets, the Arnold Allens, the Sadiq Youssef, Bryce Mitchell, from a competitive standpoint, you must be thrilled with what could be coming your way in the next year or two.
Man, that's exactly right. Again, it went stale for a little bit, obviously, with COVID and whatnot, and then we were looking for a number one contender. But, mate, there's so many guys that are there. Like, one big fight, that puts them right up there, you know what I mean? So it's exciting. And I don't know I don't know what other champs are like, but me, I don't know, you could probably tell. I've got my eye. Like, I'm looking at these guys. I want to know who's next. I want to know who's coming up the line. I'm the champ chasing these contenders. Honestly, that's what it feels like. I've got mine every single one. I'm at the top now. It was me chasing the guy at the top. Now it's me at the top looking down saying, who wants it? You know what I mean? I'm ready. Let's go. You know what I mean? So, again, and that's not because I'm going to smash his or it ain't like that. It's just I'm excited. I love it. That's what it's all about. Guys shooting through the ranks, and there's a ranking system for a reason. They're going to climb the ladder and be there. And you know what I mean? It's exciting for the division because we do have a stacked division. And, I'm proud to be a champion of that division. And I've been saying, people ask me, what's your next goal? That GOAT status, that GOAT status of the division. I wanted to be the champ. Now I want that GOAT status. And like you said, you've got a lot of guys out there that, once they're up there, these are big, big names. That, these are going to be very highly talented fighters that, I'm going to have to fight. And, when I start getting defenses against these guys, you know, there ain't going to be much question of, you know, who the goat of the division is. You know, obviously I've fought the two goats of the division back to back, Max as well, and then you got Chad Mendes. I've already fought some great fighters in the division, and there's still so many more that are just there as well. So I can't wait to take them out, and then people can really understand, you know, my greatness, Alexander the Great. You know what I mean? They'll really understand that nickname.
I'm glad you mentioned Alexander the Great, because you just released a children's book a few months ago called Alexander the Great. How's that been going now that it's out there?
Yeah, it's been going good. You know, it's been going good. It's exciting as well, as you would know. You know, especially being a part of UFC, and, you know, obviously everyone knows me as a nice family guy. You know, that's what I pride myself. But sometimes we're not portrayed that way. You know, UFC fighters and things like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand what, you know, the hard work, the dedication. Some of the nicest people I've ever met are in this sport. You know, honestly. But I mean, a lot of people just don't get to see that, and it's something that, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, I want to do something about it. So I pride myself on being just a respectful guy. You know, I'm the guy that earns that shot. You know, I earn, not given. You know, little things like that, hard work. I'm all about that, a dedication, all these things that, you know, all fighters are. This is what we're all about. But, you know, again, like people, it's starting to sort of be missed, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Not only you got the trash talking and all that, that's really taken over, and that's fine. But and then you've got the ranking system that's sort of going all over the place now. But I mean, you know, I'm all about work, earning what's, you know what I mean, going earning and taking that rather than things being given to you. And that's what this book's about. It's about values that I truly do believe in. And again, it's just, I think it's good for the sport. I think it's good for me, and it's something that I'm proud of. And, you know, it's cool. It's something that I definitely would read to my kids if someone else did it. You know, that's all the values that I want to teach my kids. Now I can teach to the younger generation. Hard work, you know, eating right, you know, all that's obviously, it's a children's book. So, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to have everything that you want to be teaching the kids. And then what fighting's all about. You know, I mean, discipline, hard work, and earning that. I was about to swear, but that's not a good time to swear.
Will your book teach my 7-year-old how to eat a vegetable? Because we've tried everything, short of, you know, slingshotting a piece of broccoli down his throat, which I'm never going to do, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But
UFC? Does he like?
What's that?
Does he like his UFC?
He's been watching a little bit more because, you know, I have to watch every week because this is what I do. But there are times where he's like, "Oh, Daddy, can I watch the fights with you?" And I'm like, "Of course," as a tear trickles down my cheek in excitement.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like, again, it is a sort of like my story. Like, you know what I mean? You've got my photos in there, which is cool. That's, you know, obviously cool to see. But then you've got, like, everything, like you said, eating your greens. And, you know, we try to make it all colourful and make greens look exciting. So hopefully it works. I reckon you give it a try. Maybe I've got to send you a book, and you let me know if they eat the greens after that.
Oh, challenge accepted, Alexander. Do you think this is like the first of many, you think? Do you think we're going to have some sequels and some follow-ups here?
Mate, I think it can open a lot of doors. I think if it's done right, you know, and it does well. Again, look, I'm just excited for the fact that I can give back at the moment. So that's all I really care. But if I can make something of it, and, you know, whether it is something that I can, you know, branch things off where, you know, if it's figurines or, you know, whatever, YouTube channels specifically for this character or whatever it is, you know, I mean, that'll obviously be unreal. So I'd love to do that. And again, I'm all about, you know, I'm all about teaching values and all that type of stuff. So I know I'm not only just doing it to try and make a quick buck, but I'm trying to at least give back to the younger generation. And, you know, again, I just teach what I believe in and try and help out as much as I can. It's what I'm all about.
That's great. And, you know, you're asked all the time about your goals, your next goal in the octagon. It's to get to that GOAT status and be one of the greatest to ever step in the octagon. But do you have, like, I don't even know if you think about this at this point, but like, do you have a goal, like ultimate goals, like outside of the octagon? Like, obviously you're a family man and family comes first and all that stuff, but is there anything that you dream about doing or tackling outside of competing in the cage?
Man, obviously being successful. You know what I mean? This is now, I'm lucky enough to do a sport that I love. I'm lucky enough to be doing something that I'm passionate about. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be here forever. But now that I've chose this passion as my career path, you know, I need to make money. I need to set my family up for life. You know what I mean? So I need to just being successful. So right now, even though this is a passion, I need to be successful. And to do so, I want that GOAT status. I'm chasing all these things that'll help me build my brand and get me, in position that will help me for the rest of my life, so I can be successful for my family. Again, that's all I care about, is giving back to my family and doing what I can. You know what I mean? So this is something I'm passionate about. I love it, but at the same time, this is a career path I chose, and I need to be successful. So whatever it is outside of fighting, hopefully it involves something I still love, like fighting. But again, I just need to be successful. I just need to, again, even if it's not something fun, but if it's something that's going to make me money my kids, I can give the kids a good life. That's all that matters to me. But let's hope it's something I'm passionate about, like fighting, because I do love my fighting.
What's your gut telling you about who could be next for you? Like, you get Ortega and Korean Zombie getting ready to fight. We don't know what's going on with Zabit and Yair and everybody else, but like for instance, like who do you favor in Ortega versus the Korean Zombie? Because likely, at least in your mind right now, with what's on the books, the winner of this is probably your next opponent. So what's your gut telling you that's going to be next for you?
I got a feeling Zombie. I reckon it's Zombie. And either one of those, I think they're both a big draw anyway. So I'm excited for both fights. It doesn't really matter who wins that fight. I think that, again, if any one of them two win big, everyone's going to be screaming their name. So that's all that matters. Stylistically, I think Zombie has an edge on the feet. I think he's a little bit more technical. I think he approaches his striking. Again, he looks for counters, and he's clever that way. He will try and set traps and things like that. They're both, obviously dangerous. They're both guns on the ground as well. So it can go either way. But if I had to pick someone, I'd probably pick Zombie. But again, either one of them. But who do I want to win? Again, I don't hate Zombie, but he's got a team behind him that love to run their mouth. So it'll be good if Ortega, even though he's already slapped up Jay Parker, part of his team, and good on him for that. I know I shouldn't be, you shouldn't be slapping pop stars and whatnot, but at the same time, this guy was running his mouth about me as well. So Ortega, I'll give you the thumbs up for that one. And if he does slap up a Zombie, at the end of the day, I could be like, haha, that's what you get for running your mouth. But if not, if Zombie takes it out, then I get to do the slapping myself on Zombie. So either way, I'm happy. But again, I don't hate the guy, but it will be good to shut their team up. That's for sure.
It's always great catching up, my man. It's been amazing to watch your rise in the sport. One of the nice guys doing it his way to become a champion. Before we say goodbye, you alluded to this earlier, but what's the message for your fellow 145ers, the ones knocking on the door, the ones that are about to take that right-hand turn to get on the road to knocking on that door? Like, what do you want to say to everybody in your division right now?
Earned, not given. Go and take it. It's there for the taking. You get that shot as soon as you're there. Race to number one contender. Let's go.
Appreciate the time as always, man. Let's not make it a 3-year drought again. All right. Let's catch up a little bit sooner this time. But all the best to you. Look forward to seeing you back in there, man, whenever that happens.
I appreciate you too. I appreciate having my back. All them haters. I knew you had my back. You're a good man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
You know what's up.